Okay. Now I want to do a histogram and graph those. I'm going to graph both the actual data and the S&P data. So I'm going to need a place for my bins. They call them bins. These are just the things that delineate what areas I'm going to count. So I'm going to count between, in this it would be between -20 and -17. How many returns of this series occur that are between -20 and -17? And we need to have even intervals here. We need to have bins of the same size. So we're going to go from -4 standard deviations or 4 standard deviations below the mean to 4 standard deviations above the mean. And the way to do that is to take the S&P average, minus 4 times this one. Okay? And then it's up to you to decide how likely it is that you'll see returns in this range. So in the cell below, you're going to add half a standard deviation to that value that we just calculated, 0.5 times. Now I want to anchor that so that we can drag it down. So I've got that anchored. So I want a total of 17 bins. I really don't want them that big though. I don't want the numbers looking that big, so I'm going to make those much, 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 much smaller. Okay, there we go. And that was just, I needed to grab this instead of, okay. And I want to wind up being 4 standard deviations above the mean. So I'm going to number these to see how many I have. And I have 19, so I'm going to get rid of those. Clear, and then I'm going to clear that because I don't need that there. Okay. Now, this 9th bin, the middle bin, should equal the mean, and it does. And this should be 4 standard deviations above the mean. So check and make sure that that is true. Okay, now we're going to go again to data analysis, and we're going to use the histogram tool. Click OK. The input range is going to be where the random numbers are. The bin range is going to be where I just defined the bins. The output range is going to be, I'm just going to put it right here. You want to put it above where you want where it starts there, because it'll have titles, and you don't want, so you want this to match up. And then I'm going to put random up here so that I know that that's for the random numbers. And then I'm going to do that again for the S&P data. So I'm going to go data analysis, histogram, and now the input range is starting there, going down to, whoop. Yeah, I took that a little too far, didn't I? We'll fix that. Just going down the 9 years or 7 years that we have. That was kind of dumb. I'll fix that in a minute. the output range, the bin range is going to stay the same. The output range is going to come over here. Okay, and you can see that I have the bins in the output range for that. And I want to come down here and fix what I messed up. So we do not want all this stuff here. So I'm going to right click and clear it. Okay, so now I got that. Okay, and this is the S&P. Okay, and I can do the good old merge cells. Merge and center here. I don't know why it didn't work. It's weird because I've got this thing going on. I've got this, no, there we go. Merge and center, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. Because it's so small, it's kind of, the menu's a little funny. It doesn't look quite as it's expected to look. There we go. Okay. Oh, still didn't do it. Let me fix it. Okay, not going to worry about it. I'm going to use the format painter. There, that fixes it. Okay, in the next column, I'm going to divide all the values in column G, which is the frequency count for the random numbers, by 2000, because we want to have those in percentages so that we can graph them. Okay, and then in the next column, I'm going to do the same for the S&P. I'm going to use the count function. And I'm just going to count all the S&P returns. I always leave off my parentheses because I'm lazy. Okay, and that's what that's going to look like. I don't want that one. Okay, so that's what we've got. Now we're going to graph the histogram.